Hey guys, welcome back. As you can see from the title, we're doing a February reading recap. Ignore my face. I am tired. I think I slept less than 4 hours because the Dark Mafia romance book I was reading got really fucking good. And I didn't go to sleep until like after 4:30. I'm tired. But we're gonna bust through these books that I read for February. So seeing as how February is Black History Month, I dedicated the entire month to only Black authors, and I'm in like a book hangover, kind of, sort of. First of all, I made my reading goal for February. I wanted to do 18 books because I read 18 books in January, but I ended up reading 20 books. So yeah, I ended up reading 20 books, and we're just gonna go through these really quick. So I'm going to read the synopsis for each one and then give like just a quick rating on them. There are a couple that I will do actual review videos for. So we're gonna start with the first one. This one was called Again, a Marriage Redemption novella by JL Seegars. This one was short, and it synopsis says, Jackson Daniels was supposed to be my forever. I've loved him since I was 13 years old, and like a foolish little girl, I believed that our love would carry us through everything. Every challenge, every obstacle, every heartbreak. But that was before I knew anything about pain and the challenge of overcoming crushing disappointment. Before I knew that loving someone doesn't always mean you get to have them. Sometimes it means you have to let them go. Now, thanks to my sister marrying his brother at a romantic resort in Mexico, he's back in my orbit, making me question the choice I made all those years ago, reminding me of our history every time he looks me in the eye, touching me like I still belong to him, and demanding that I give him another chance in my life, in my bed, in my heart. And as tempted as I am to say yes, there's still a part of me that can't forget what it was like to let him go, to live with our broken, forever haunting me. I survived losing him once, but I'm not so sure I can do it again. Okay, so first of all, it was really good. Again, it's a novella, so it's not that long. I'm giving it 4 stars. Only because I feel the main character pissed me off a little bit, because she left him. She left him, but she didn't tell him why. These niggas was married, and she just up and filed for divorce and did not tell him why. And baby, I'm like, you said you've loved him. You've loved him since you were 13. You've loved him since you were 13. Y'all were married. And one situation, and you're like, yeah, let's just get a divorce. And you don't even... 4 stars. The story is still good. I promise you it's good. I loved it. But that little tidbit was grinding my gears a little bit. Yeah. Next, I ended up reading The Rival Bid, which it says it's a part of the Distinguished Gentleman series. I don't know what that is. I didn't really look into that. And that's by Reese Ryan. The synopsis: she'll fight for what she wants, even if she has to make a deal with the devil. Camilla Anthony painstakingly restores older Chicagoland homes to their former glory. So when the opportunity arises to acquire an abandoned block of homes and a school in her neighborhood of South Lake Park, she's ready to take on the challenge. But she'll need the help of her former crush and frequent real estate rival. Makai Arrington builds luxury homes. Increasingly, he and preservationist Camilla Anthony clash over gentrification, but when Kai reluctantly agrees to participate in a charity bachelor auction, Camilla vies for him and wins. She proposes an alliance that will benefit both of their companies while salvaging a historic neighborhood in their childhood community. But will the fiery passion that erupts between them during their beach getaway blow up their deal? I'm giving that 5 stars. That one, it wasn't that long to read either, but it was good. I loved it. I don't know, for some reason lately I've been loving books where the characters have some history. I don't know what it is. Like, lately I've just been in the mood for characters to just, you know, for that drama and that angst to already be there. I'm not in the mood for y'all to get to know each other right now. I don't know. Yeah. That's kind of where I was at with it last month. Now this next one, first of all, Shain Rose has become one of my favorite authors. Last year, first of all, I didn't know Shain Rose was a Black author. So let's start there. Because last year, I read Reverie by her. And that book was so fucking good. I definitely plan on rereading that this year. But it was so fucking good. So like, when I found out she's a Black author, I'm like, bitch, period. Let me read what else you got, bitch. I read Corrupted Chaos. I read it twice. I read it twice in 1 month. That tells you everything you need to know. That's even before I read the synopsis. Corrupted Chaos, an enemies to lovers forced proximity romance. A part of the tarnished empire. Forced proximity is an understatement, baby. Okay. My enemy doesn't make the rules behind closed doors, even if he's my boss. Cade Armanelli. The things I would let that man do to me. Cade Armanelli might be an infamous hacker with billionaire status who operates better alone, but I earned my spot working alongside him, whether he likes it or not. It's precisely why I'm on the first plane to an undisclosed location for our cybersecurity team retreat. I'm ready to prove to our company that I can handle anything, except sharing a cabin and a bed with my meticulous, elusive boss. He's antisocial, ruthless, enemy number 1. Unfortunately, he's also number 1 in tatted, dark, and dangerous. I quickly come to find that not only are his hacking skills perfection, but so is his performance in the bedroom. I'm sorry, I'm getting like, ooh, because I want to reread it again. Not that it matters. I have a job to keep, a heart to protect, and our nation's data to secure. Cade can't help me with any of that. He's a distraction, one I have to avoid, even if it means I'm spray painting a red line down our bed and keeping my boss on his side. Now, this is standalone, but technically, if you wanted to read these books in order, you would read wait a minute, I read these out of order as fuck. So technically you would read Shattered Vows first, then Fractured Freedom, and then Corrupted Chaos. Now, I haven't read Shattered Vows yet, but that's on my list. But Corrupted Chaos is what, book 3? Baby, let me tell you something. 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars. Cade Armanelli. There's something about them Armanelli men. But Cade? There are no words. I fucking love Cade. But yes, I also read Fractured Freedom by Shain Rose, and like I said, that's book 2. And so this one is a brother's best friend, second chance romance. So the synopsis for that one: is it so bad that I tricked my older brother's best friend into taking my V card? Maybe. In my defense, it was Dante Reed, my crush, my first love, and the one I ended up pushing away. Our paths split in opposite directions. I went to college on one coast while he returned to work with the U.S. Army on the other. The end, or so I thought. After graduating and attempting a bucket list of self-discovery, guess who I find standing outside the jail, bailing me out from a crime I didn't commit? Dante freaking Reed. This time with more muscles, more tattoos, and more demands. One of which is to move in across the hall from him so he can keep me safe. Like I need protection after a little felony mix-up. I don't, unless it's from him. Because Dante has been my downfall before, and living next to the guy I gave my innocence to a long time ago may actually end in my complete devastation. I'm giving that 4 stars. So the main character in Fractured Freedom is the twin sister of the main character in Corrupted Chaos. The main character in Fractured Freedom, she stressed me out. There were a few times I really wanted to strangle her myself because she was irritating me. Like, girl, 4 stars just because she was pissing me off. Just because she was pissing me off. It was driving me nuts. Like I said, it's brother's best friend, second chance romance. And there were just dozens of times where this man was like, yeah, nah, you're mine. Like, fuck what you talking about. Fuck whatever bullshit you on. I'm gonna let you play these games. I'm gonna let you play these games. I'm gonna let you get it out of your system, but you mine. I don't know what the fuck you talking about. And she's just so fucking adamant. Like, no, and it's never gonna work, and I want to fight her. She pissed me off. The other book that I read by Shain Rose was Inevitable, and this is a part of the Stonewood Billionaire Brothers series. So this is in the same series as Reverie, which I read last year, which was perfect. So if you wanted to read the Stonewood Billionaire Brothers series, if you want to read those in order, they're standalones, but if you want to read them in order, you would read it Inevitable, Reverie, and then Thrive. I read it out of order. I read Reverie first, and then I read Inevitable, and I have not read Thrive yet. But again, that's on my list. But Inevitable. This is a billionaire second chance romance. Synopsis. So we have Aubrey. The day I lost my parents was the day he saved me. Jack Stonewood, my best friend's older brother. He was never meant to be my savior, my first real love, and certainly not my greatest heartbreak. I spent years getting over him, and now he's back. The nation's most streamed artist and eligible bachelor. But I'm not falling for him again. Jax and I are done. And then you have Jax. The day I saved her was the day I lost myself to her. Aubrey Whitfield was only ever supposed to be my brother's best friend. Yep, okay, that makes sense. Not my life, not the one I would die for. Definitely not the one that would break me. She's built up walls to shut me out, but I won't leave her behind again. Our souls are welded together. Aubrey has always been mine. I'll make her remember whether she likes it or not. We're inevitable. I'm giving that 4.5. Yeah, I'm giving that 4.5. I feel like it was, part of me feels like it was just something missing. And I really wanted, like, I love the guy, Jax. I love Jax. But I really wanted to punch him in the fucking face. I really wanted to punch him in the fucking face. It was just a lot of bullshit, unnecessary bullshit going on that was keeping them apart. It was pissing me off because I felt like that was unnecessary. Oh, my Starbucks. My dumb ass. I totally forgot I ordered Starbucks. I'm like, what? I'm a dummy. I was so confused. Crack. Caramel crunch frap with almond milk, 2 shots of blonde espresso, 1 pump of toasted vanilla syrup. Let me tell you something. Crack. Okay. Whew. Being a whole dummy. I totally forgot I ordered Starbucks. Okay. Now, next I bought a new adult billionaire romance, His for a Week, book 1 by M. Brown. And this is book 1 of a 5-book series. I'm gonna read the synopsis first, okay? She messed with the wrong billionaire. Now this is Ben talking. I saw her, I wanted her, I bought her. Big mistake. She was just supposed to be a plaything for a week, but I can't keep my hands off of her. Can't stop thinking of all the things that I want to do to her. I want to devastate her. She tries not to want it and she's hiding why, but it doesn't matter. She can try and resist me. She won't prevail. An undercover journalist sells herself for a week to expose the darker elements of the Scarlet Auction, but when billionaire Benjamin Lee shows up, it's not just her scoop that's on the line. So it's dual POV. I'm on the fence. I'm kind of undecided because I'm gonna give it 3 stars. And I don't want you guys to take that as that you shouldn't read it, but okay. I don't want you guys to take that as that you shouldn't read it because, first of all, I found book 1 for free. And I did end up buying the rest of the books. Mostly out of sheer curiosity because I need to know how it ends. But here's the thing. I do like the chemistry between the main characters. I kind of want to slap the female character, but right now I do like both of them, and I'm liking the chemistry and the chaos between them. It's the other characters that's making me feel some things because. It just bothers me because there's like I get that these are fiction. I get that 1000%. I know this, but my Virgo brain can't help that. Like sometimes when I'm reading certain things, I'm like, how would this fly in real life? Bitch, it wouldn't. It shouldn't. But a part of me feels like this shit could totally happen in real life. I wouldn't be surprised. I feel like the Scarlet Auction is nothing more than like some form of sex trafficking. But with consent. Which is a weird way to put it. Because these women sign up for the Scarlet Auction for money. these billionaire guys basically buy these women for a week, and like there's contracts and, you know, a bunch of legality that they have to go through and everything. But that doesn't stop these guys from being assholes. That is the reason why the main character, the journalist, goes undercover, because one of her friends participated in the auction, and after hearing what she went through, she's like, yeah, no, I wanna go undercover. I wanna see what's going on for myself. I wanna, you know, get this shit published. I wanna spread the word. And like, one of the dudes needs to be under the jail. It's not the main character. It's not the main character. But one of the guys needs to be under the fucking jail. And I want to fight that man in real life. But that's why it's getting 3 stars, because it's stressing me out. Because I'm like, okay. I'm trying to see it from her point of view. She's there for a story. The women are there because they want to be there. They signed up for this. They don't want to leave. They want to stay until the end so that they can get their money. So I get why she doesn't, you know, call for help or, you know, try to call the cops. But fuck that shit. Fuck this story. I feel like being safe and, you know, not being harmed is more important. But that's just me. And I feel like that's why it's like stressing me out. But I don't know. 3 stars because it's stressing me out. But I am going to finish the series because I need to find out what happens. Next, I ended up reading Snow King Catches His Snowflake, a 3 Kings novel by A.E. Valdez. After being in a relationship for 3 years, Noelle Frost is faced with the reality that she was definitely the better half. Her friends, ecstatic she's dropped the dead weight of a cheating boyfriend, urge her to get away for the holiday and take some time for herself. Not sure if that'll fix anything, but willing to try, she books a last-minute trip to the world-renowned Mistletoe Mountain Resort. Noelle boards the plane with the promise of peace and relaxation on the horizon. Snow King is stuck in a rut, believing himself undeserving of joy and pleasure after suffering more than one devastating loss. One he still shoulders the blame for. Even with supportive family and friends, he still prefers solitude. Every year, instead of trudging through the painful memories Christmas brings, he takes a solo trip to escape the holiday cheer. Typically, that's anywhere that doesn't remind him of the season, but this year, his well-meaning assistant books him a trip to the North Pole reincarnate. An overbooking incident, one disrobed guest, and a nasty run-in with pepper spray tell the Christmas story in a way you won't believe. 4.5. 4.5 stars. 4.5. I loved this book. It was entertaining. It was cute. It was spicy. It was good. I would totally reread this book. It was good. Again, it was just a couple things that, you know, would never fly in real life. But, yeah, no. Yeah, no. But no, this was really good. I would love to read more by this author, actually. But I really did enjoy this book. It was great. Is there enough time on here? We gotta start over. Y'all. The next series I want to talk about, baby. This needs to be whiskey for what I need to talk about. Baby. So I read the Butterfly series by Ashley Antoinette, and I read the Ethics series by Ashley Antoinette. Now, For this series, technically, you should read it in this order. You should read Moth to a Flame, the Ethics series, and then the Butterfly series. Now, when I was searching for Black authors to read, the Butterfly series kept popping up. So that is what I ended up reading first, not realizing that I should have read the Ethics series or Moth to a Flame book beforehand. So I read the Butterfly series. I have a review video recorded for the Butterfly series that I need to edit and post because, bitch. I'm just gonna read the synopsis for book 1. Okay. Run away from the boy that gives you butterflies. He's going to break your heart. I'm just talking about it is... Okay. Morgan Atkins had been told that phrase ever since she was a little girl, and still she allowed herself to fall for the boy that made her heart flutter. After losing her first love, Morgan is terrified to love again. She's settled for a comfortable life with a respectable man. She has everything. She's living in the lap of luxury, and although she's comfortable, she's bored out of her mind. When a ghost from her past blows into town, she finds herself entangled in an illicit affair. It's wrong, but she can't fight the butterflies he gives her, and honestly, she doesn't want to. She can't hide the natural attraction she feels, and soon she's so deep involved that she can no longer tell where the boundary between right and wrong lies. Her heart is telling her one thing, but her head is saying another. Morgan Atkins has always been a spoiled girl, and she tries to have it all. But when she's forced to choose between a good man and a bad boy, someone will end up hurt. Someone just may end up dead. Morgan Atkins has been through more tragedy than one girl can bear. Will she weather this storm, or will the ultimate heartbreak ruin her for good? Baby. So it's a 5-book series, but right now there are only 4 books. Book 5 has not come out yet, and there's no date for it. But the 4 books that are available, baby, the whole series, 5 stars. 5 stars, because I read the series twice last month. I read all 4 books twice last month. I was obsessed. I did not know what to do with myself. I was rereading certain chapters, certain scenes. Ugh, baby. 5 stars. 5 stars. And it's to the point where I need a series that's extremely similar to this one. I need a series that's extremely similar to this one that's going to give me this same vibe. Like, not any other urban fiction. It can't be any other urban fiction. You can't just throw out one to me. It has to be similar to this one. Because I ain't been this obsessed and absorbed in some characters' shenanigans in a long ass time. Now, like I said, you should read the Ethics series before you read Butterfly. I didn't. I'm gonna post my review video on the Ethics series after this video too. Life's been chaos. So what had happened was, I read Butterfly, and while I could still follow along perfectly fine without reading Ethic, there were just some things, you know, that were brought up and that were said to where I was like, yeah, I need some background information. And that's why I ended up reading the Ethics series. Now, the Ethics series, let me read the synopsis for book 1 first. Let me do that first, okay? Ethic has power, but love has always been evasive. After losing every significant relationship in his life, Ethic is a man who refuses to love again. Focusing on being a better man and keeping his family safe, he is raising 3 children, one of which is a defiant teenage girl, Morgan. Morgan is the main character in the Butterfly series. No matter how hard he tries to keep Morgan away from the streets, she is determined to defy him. When Morgan finds herself in a vulnerable position, Ethic is pulled back into the deadly game where he was once king. In this explosive spinoff to Moth to a Flame, you will fall in love with Ezra Okafor, aka Ethic, as he gambles on love and in the streets in hopes that this time he will win. I'm very honest in my review regarding Ethic because I did not read the Ethic series for the main character Ethic. I read Ethic for Morgan's story. I love Ethic's character. So it wasn't that turned me off from it. It wasn't that at all. It was just that I was obsessing over Morgan and her and her situation. But I wasn't all that fond of Ethic's relationship or the journey of his relationship. I didn't really care for his relationship story. I don't know why. So like I'm giving the series 4 stars. In my review video, I know I said I skipped over like a lot of his scenes, but like I was still able to follow along. But I skipped over a lot of stuff that I didn't care to read. I was mostly there for Morgan, like I said. A lot of shit regarding Ethic and his love interest, I skipped over. It just wasn't hitting for me. But it was still very good. It's still very good. It's messy. It's drama. You gonna need a drink. Baby, tears were shed. Tears were shed reading both of these series. I know that much. But yeah, the Ethic series gets 4 stars. Butterfly series gets 5 stars. Like I said. And then the very first book, Moth to a Flame, that's the book that you're supposed to read first. But it's some heavy fucking shit in that book. I haven't read it, but both the Ethic series and the Butterfly series allude to a lot of things that took place in that book, and it's heavy as fuck, and I don't know if I'll be able to read it. Like I don't really have triggers, but it's just certain things that are just, you know, mad heavy. And I don't know if I'm quite in the space to read that yet, or if I'll ever read it at all. Like, I'm very fucking tempted. I'm very tempted, but not yet. Not yet. I'm not reading that yet. Okay, next. I read The Wife Before, a spellbinding psychological thriller with a shocking twist by Shanora Williams. Samira Wilder has never had it easy, and when her latest lousy job goes south, things only promise to get harder until she unexpectedly meets a man who will change her life forever. Renowned pro golfer Roland Graham is wealthy, handsome, and caring, and Samira is dazzled. Best of all, he seems to understand her better than anyone ever has. And though their relationship moves a bit fast, when Roland proposes, Samira accepts. She even agrees to relocate to his secluded Colorado mansion. After all, there's nothing to keep her in Miami, and the mansion clearly makes him happy. Soon they are married amid a media firestorm, and Samira can't wait to make a fresh start as the second Mrs. Graham. Samira settles into the mansion, blissfully happy, until she discovers long-hidden journals belonging to Roland's late wife, Melanie, who died in a tragic accident. With each dusty page, Samira comes to realize that perhaps it was no accident at all. That perhaps her perfect husband is not as perfect as she thought. Even as her trust in Roland begins to dwindle and a shadow falls over her marriage and she begins to fear for her own life, Samira is determined to uncover the truth of Melanie's troubled last days. But even good wives should know that the truth is not always what it seems. I'm giving this 4.5. It was really good. It was really good, and it was a change of pace for me because y'all know I've been reading nothing but spicy shit since last year. So reading something very normal was, you know, refreshing. But yeah, 4.5. This book was good. Bitch. I can't say that. That's a spoiler. Let me tell you something. The first wife's journals, baby. Messy. Hot mess. Messy. Just, yo, this would make a bomb-ass Lifetime movie. Ooh. This will make a bomb-ass Lifetime movie. Cause I can picture it in my head. It would be so good. But baby, this was good. And I wasn't expecting the twist at the end. Usually I'm good and I'll be knowing shit, but like, you think you know, but it ain't the whole story, baby. It's, woof. Listen, it's some other books of hers that are on my TBR that I want to read too. But yeah, The Wife Before, that was good. This book. You made a fool of death with your beauty. And I'm gonna apologize if I mispronounce the author's name. Akwaeke, Emezi. I hope that's how you pronounce it. I'm sorry if it's wrong. I'm just gonna read the synopsis really quick. And I hope that I'm pronouncing this name correct as well. Faye Atacola wants to learn how to be alive again. It's been 5 years since the accident that killed the love of her life, and she's almost a new person now. An artist with her own studio and sharing a brownstone apartment with her ride-or-die best friend, Joy, who insists it's time for Faye to ease back into the dating scene. Excuse me. Faye isn't ready for anything serious, but a steamy encounter at a rooftop party cascades into a whirlwind summer she could have never imagined. A luxury trip to a tropical island, decadent meals, and the glamorous home of a celebrity chef, and a major curator who wants to launch her art career. She's even started dating the perfect guy, but their new relationship might be sabotaged before it has a chance by the overwhelming desire Faye feels every time she locks eyes with the one person in the house who is most definitely off limits. His father. This new life she asked for just got a lot more complicated, and Faye must begin her search for real answers. Who is she ready to become? Can she release her past and honor her grief while still embracing her future? And of course, there's the biggest question of all. How far is she willing to go for a second chance at love? Stomach is not, don't do that. Don't interrupt. I'm sorry. I'm giving this 2 stars, and honestly, I feel like that second star is hella generous. I did not like this book. I did not like this book. I didn't like the book. The main character. My stomach is doing the most right now. It's the coffee. The main character. It's been a minute since, well, no, because Morgan in the Butterfly series had me ready to fight with her. This character. I wanted to push this main character down a flight of stairs. I wanted to slap her. I wanted to hit her in the back of the head with a frying pan. If I'm being completely honest, the main character was a bitch. No redeeming qualities. And I'm sorry, like, this is just my opinion, but she's terrible. She's terrible. She's a terrible person. Read at your own risk. I'm not a fan. This book was horrendous. And it pisses me off because I feel like it had potential. It had potential. And I really, like, okay. Let me put it this way. Because as you can read, it says like she's looking at the guy's father. So they're right there. That is your mess. That is your hot ass, funky ass mess right there. And you know, in other books, I feel like it works well because usually the guy that the main character is with is usually a shitty one. You know, she has to go through some bullshit before she gets her happily ever after. But in this book, I feel like the guy got shat on. And I was not okay with that. I wasn't okay with that. It was some bullshit. The character, the female main character just had a complete disregard to everybody else's feelings. It was always me, 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 I. And it's like she would try to think logically, but it would only last for like 5 minutes. It was just a whole lot of bullshit. Like, it was a lot of bullshit. I'm not a fan. I don't like the main character. If anything, I want a book about the main character's best friend. That's what I want to read about. Fuck this main character. I'm never reading this book again. It was heinous. It was trash. I wish I hadn't read it. It was dumb. And I'm sorry, but I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. But that's where I'm at with it. Yeah, that's where I'm at with it. The last book that I read in February was Meetings at Midnight by Tamara Whitlow. It's a short synopsis. The book isn't that long. It's 181 pages. It's not that long. Do you believe in love at first sight? Now that he's met her and introduced himself, he needs more of her. He invites her to meet him on the roof of one of his buildings, and neither one of them are prepared for the drama that unfolds after that first meeting at midnight. I'm giving this 4 stars. So I liked it. It was very fast-paced. But it was lacking. It was lacking because I feel like I needed to read more interactions between the characters in the beginning of the book. And then towards the end, I feel like there was potential for there to be like a fuck ton of extra drama. A fuck ton of extra drama. But it was done like that. And so I was just like, no, are you really? That's it? That's so tame. That's so mild. Like, are you dumb? like, it was lacking. The story is still good though, so that's why I'm giving it 4 stars. The story is still good. I do like the characters. I just wish, well, no, because the female main character, I need to choke you up a little bit, because that was some bullshit. That was some bullshit. That was some bullshit. And you know it. That was some bullshit. But it was lacking. And it needed a little bit more. Like 50 more pages, and not even 50, probably 30 more pages. And I feel like it could have just, it was lacking. It had hella fucking potential for just a little bit more but it wasn't there all the way. So that's where I'm at with it. But yeah, those are all the books that I read in February. I have not updated my TBR journal and my iPad. Jesus Christ. So I actually have to do that later. Fuck, because I am behind. But I know they have a spot in there for where I'm supposed to pick like my favorite book that I read for the month. And that's gonna be between, yeah, that's gonna be between Corrupted Chaos by Shain and the entire Butterfly series by Ashley Antoinette. So those are my favorites last month, obviously, because I reread the entire Butterfly series and I reread Corrupted Chaos. And I am trying so fucking hard to not reread them again because I have other books I need to read. But those were my favorite. Those were my favorite. Obviously, my least favorite was You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty. It was trash. But yeah, that's where I'm at with it. I have not made a reading goal for March. I feel like I'm just trying to chill this month. Because like last month, I was just going through. Even though I did end up rereading the Butterfly series twice, I still read 20 books last month. But that's because some of those books were really short. Because like so far, how many have I read so far this month? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I've only read 5 books this month so far. Which isn't bad, but it's kind of putting me behind my goal a little bit. Well, no, because I'm kind of ahead of my goal already. But we'll see. I'm trying to relax this month and just go with the flow. Because I've gotten used to reading books that are like 400 pages or less. And there are some books on my TBR that are like 400 pages and up. So I have to get used to that. Because this one book that just came out and it's like over 800 pages. And I'm like, do I feel like doing that? I don't know. Anyways. Yeah, I'm gonna go eat now. But I hope you guys check out some of those books that I mentioned at your own risk. If you get traumatized, don't blame me. If you have any reading recommendations, you can throw them down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, whatever. I appreciate you watching, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.